Manchester United 1, Celta Vigo 0. What a fantastic result in the first leg in Spain in the Europa League. Are we in the final yet? Of course we're not. Loads to do. But Rashford's rocket silences the Celta Vigo cheats is my tagline. Because I really thought, I haven't watched Manchester United play a La Liga side in a long time. But what an eye-opener to the low-handed, diving little cheaty tactics you get week in, week out. It's awful. Absolutely awful. I didn't think the referee was fantastic today, but at least he was one of those referees who didn't give much, because if he'd given a lot, I think they would have had loads, maybe even penalties and all sorts. And you could tell Aspas has played for Liverpool before. Diving, cheating, little shit. But Rashford's goal, let's talk about that first of all. What a free kick. I just love the way he whipped it. Beckham-esque, but also got the Ronaldo punch on it. The pace really took it beyond the keeper, because it could have been more in the top corner. It was quite close to the keeper, but the power and punch of it. And it answered, I was stunned. I think a lot of you were stunned as well. It answered a lot of questions as to why Marcus Rashford is taking corners and free kicks, because none of us could really understood it. We do now. What a free kick. What a performance from Rashford. And what an important goal for Manchester United. But let's be totally honest. 1-0 is good. 1-0 is good because it means that Celta Vigo have got to come to United. It's not over yet. They've got to come to Old Trafford and they've got to beat us. None of this 1-1 Anderlecht first leg and then away goals start to come into it if it's a draw. They've got to beat us at Old Trafford to knock us out. We've not been great at Old Trafford this season, but we've not been being beaten at Old Trafford. We've been drawing a lot, and a draw will do. So very, very positive. Great to get the away goal. Great to get the win as well. Celta Vigo did say, I don't know what to expect with them. I know they're a good footballing side, but they are a mid-table side. They could be a really dangerous team. I think we saw from minute 1 all the way through to minute 90. Yeah, they might create chances, but we were always in control of that game, and we were the better footballing side, which was really, really, really positive. Because I remember us playing in the Europa League a few years ago, playing a mid-table side in La Liga called Atletico Bilbao, and they played us off the park. And my fear was that, La Liga, they are technically quite good. They might cause us issues. They didn't. They really didn't. We were really in control of that game. And I think we did it with 9 men in some ways as well. Paul Pogba was just on fire in the first half. An absolutely sensational performance by him. Run the midfield. Brilliant. Really missed him. Great to have him back. The only downer on Pogba's performance, and it's in the back of my head now because I've seen it happen to Darren Fletcher in the past. He picked up a pointless, needless, dissent yellow card. If he picks one up next week, he's out the final. And if he's out the final, our chances of winning the final are drastically reduced. I don't know how Mourinho manages that. You can't go as far as to not play Pogba in the second semi-final, but I'd be considering it, because unless we need him, wrap him up in cotton wool. We do not want to see him out of that game. People who watch the Watch-Along will know what that's all about. It wasn't a very good one either. I'm happy. I'm very happy with the result. It was a really good performance and totally deserved. And a real good comeback, because if we don't get in the if we're sat in the summer in the Europa League, we're all going to be very, very frustrated. I'd challenge anybody who would be Mourinho out. I think that's too far. But justifiably frustrated, inexcusable that we're not in the Champions League, because we've thrown away our top 4. Letting Liverpool have top 4 is just a joke. We've dropped so many points. We're only a point behind them now, or whatever, with the game in hand. We've handed it on a plate to them through inefficiency in the league and the amount of points we've dropped at home. But we've got this second chance in the Europa League, and it is a bit of a one-shot lottery because the cup competitions can be unforgiving. But we should be beating Celta Vigo over 2 legs, and if it is Ajax or Lyon in the final, which it will be, I think probably Ajax, we should be beating them as well. But we've got to go and do it. And I think the great thing about tonight was poor against Swansea, poor in the derby. Good performance tonight. And that is always the key for United. Yeah, we can grind out results, but if we play well with the players we've got, we'll win football matches. And I think that's what we've got to do. We've got 2 games left now. I know we've got loads in the league, but we've got 2 games that matter really now. Get through those 2 games, win those 180 minutes, and we are in the Champions League with a trophy we've never won. It's really exciting, really, really, really positive, and well done. Well done to the players, well done to the manager. Tactically, we got it spot on. My man of the match would be Marcus Rashford. It would have been Paul Pogba. It was going to be Paul Pogba because he was on fire for 45 minutes, but I thought in the second half, maybe just coming back from injury, he tired a little bit. But Rashford, he got the goal. Some fantastic running. Yes, he missed a couple of chances, but that one that he missed in the second half, he made it through skill and speed. The one in the first half was just a fantastic save. And the goal was just fantastic. And for a lad of 19 years of age, in a European semi-final, playing up front on his own, away from home, I just think he just, again, showed experience, talent and charisma and passion beyond his years. A fantastic player, and I was so proud and happy for him as a Manchester United fan because, yeah, he could have scored that free kick against Swansea at the weekend and people would have said, what a free kick. But he's done it on the world stage tonight. The world will be watching. I know it's not the Champions League, but what else is there to do on a Thursday night? The world will be watching that game. And they'll all, if they didn't know who Marcus Rashford was, they'll be saying, who is he now? Fantastic, fantastic performance. All Rashford's got to do is improve his final ball. He's finishing sometimes, he's crossing, he's passing. Sometimes it's a bit off, but he can do that through hard work. He's got absolutely everything else. So he gets my man of the match, closely followed by Paul Pogba, who in the first half was playing the role of two men. He was absolutely fantastic, running at people. And what a surprise with Paul Pogba, that when we play him in a more advanced position, we see the best Paul Pogba. We saw it around the start of the season where we were letting him play further forward in the midfield three, and you get the best out of Paul Pogba. For the last few months, he's been playing a lot deeper. He's having to do a lot more defensive stuff, and we don't really see the best of Paul Pogba. Today, we let him have that freedom. We see the real Paul Pogba, and I think that is key for Mourinho going forward. He's got to try and find a way to give Pogba more freedom because he was very, very good in the first half. I've got to bring it in because a lot of you were mentioning it on the live comments. United fan says brilliant goal by Rashford as it was. You should always, and Bay was fantastic. VK Dean, Bay is an absolute warrior. Vidic with pace. Bay was fantastic. I'm going to give a shout out for Daily Blind on the positive. Dan Ash has made a contribution. He says Rashford, Valencia, Bay, Pogba, 9 out of 10 performances. I wouldn't disagree with that, and thanks for the contribution. But I want to just say, I'd said it in the watch along as well. I want to give a big shout out to Daily Blind. He wasn't man of the match, but he was fantastic today. And he's been fantastic over the last few games. And Daily Blind was fantastic last season. And a lot of you went on about how good Daily Blind was. And I was sceptical, but he was brilliant last year. Not really been used much this season by Mourinho. And I put that down to, well, last year under Van Gaal, we always had two centre defensive midfielders. You get double the protection, and it made Bailly and Smalling look better than they are. And I thought that's probably what Mourinho's interpretation was. But over these last few games, we've seen Blind playing as a centre-back with Bailly, with one centre defensive midfielder in front of him, and be as good as he was last year. So I think Daily Blind deserves a massive, massive shout-out, because if Daily Blind hadn't stepped up to the plate and played well, who plays there? We've got no Rojo, we've had no Smalling and Jones. He stepped into a position where we have no options, and he has been fantastic. So Daily Blind deserves a shout out because he was very good today as well, as was Bay. Valencia captain, brilliant. Pogba brilliant as well. Rashford great as well. But from positions of strength, you should always highlight your weaknesses so they can be improved on. I want to give a big shout out to Jesse Lingard and Marouane Fellaini because I think the fact that they played 90 minutes today was miraculous. I actually don't like Fellaini in a Manchester United shirt. Shock, surprise. But I actually felt sorry for him today because I don't understand why he played today. Because playing against a team that is, when your tactics are to hit people on the break with pace, that's not Fellaini. When you're playing a team that is small and moves the ball around quickly around the floor, that's not Fellaini. When Fellaini's in the midfield and not in the opposition's penalty box, that's not Fellaini. So, in all fairness to Fellaini, it wasn't set up for him to have a good game today. It didn't suit him at all. I was amazed he stayed on as long as he did. And it shows you how bad Celta Vigo were, really, that they couldn't take advantage of that massive weakness in our midfield because he didn't have a very good game. It wasn't his sort of game. Why he played, I don't know. Mourinho knows. But I think that was the one aspect of the game that didn't work, and we'd be wrong not to highlight it just because we won a game 1-0 because of a free kick from Rashford and we missed a lot of chances. That was a glaring issue in the lineup, and it could be costly. It could have been costly. He did pick up a yellow card. I'm going to say this with total honesty. If he plays next week and gets another yellow card, I'll be a lot more confident about the final because he won't be able to play in it. I'm sorry, but he's a risk. He's a risk. And Ajax are a good footballing side as well, so it'd be the same risk. Lingard, but I do feel sorry for him because it's not his fault. He can't sub himself off. He can't go, hey, Jose, I'm crap. I'm playing really bad today. Take me off. That's not his job. Mourinho, for whatever reason, won't do it. Lingard, again, I think Lingard lives a charmed life. I don't know what you lot think. I think he offers very little. I mean, we had a 2-on-2 situation with 3 minutes to go and he's trying to run towards the corner flag. I mean, you can't go and stand in the corner flag for 3 minutes and you've got a 2-on-2 situation. Go for the goal. It might not happen, but you can't go to the corner flag for 3 minutes. On top of that, and far, far worse, he missed 2 golden opportunities and 2 half chances. I don't think Chelsea at home aside, Lingard's played well since West Brom away at Christmas. But he keeps getting picked every week, much like Fellaini. He's obviously in the Mourinho camp that he likes them, and I haven't got a problem with that. But when they're not contributing anything, I worry. What's going on there? So I didn't think Lingard played well. I didn't think Fellaini played well. But player ratings wise, let's bring it back to the positive because the result's fantastic and there were some fantastic performances. Romero had nothing to do really, so I'd give him a 6. Valencia, I'll give him an 8. Bailly, I'll give him an 8. Blind, I'll give him an 8. Darmian, I'll give him a 7. Did nothing wrong. Solid performance. Herrera, 7. Nothing wrong. I think Herrera looks tired. I think he looked knackered against Swansea. And I think he looked tired today. He wasn't his energetic self, but he just sat there and did his job. 7. Fellaini, I would give a 5. I didn't think it was a great performance at all. Pogba, I'd give a 9. I thought he was fantastic. Lingard, again, 5. Didn't think he did very well. Mkhitaryan, 6. First half, good. Second half, invisible man, Mkhitaryan. And Rashford, a 9. So I think that's a very fair player ratings. Because Mkhitaryan did disappear in the second half. He's not in form either. I'm not going to lie. I'd get Juan Mata involved. Get Juan Mata back involved because he's consistent and he's clinical. And hopefully Mourinho's just keeping him back to make sure he's fully fit because he did say he could only play an hour. But I thought Mata was fantastic. Can be fantastic. And the fact that we didn't need to use him today is a positive. But yeah, I agree with Luis O'Donoghue. Herrera is very tired. He looked tired today. He wasn't invisible. He was just doing that shielding role that Carrick does. And he did it very well. But he wasn't his normal self. And he wasn't his normal self against Swansea. He's running on empty. I really would rest him against Arsenal. Aftar says, I don't know how Lingard is even earning £100 a week, let alone 100 grand. Let's stay positive. Darmian is putting in some consistent performances. Renault, very good point about Darmian. Luke Shaw's injured at left back now. Ashley Young went off with a hamstring injury. Daley Blind is playing centre back, so our only left back option at the moment is Darmian. Unbelievable, isn't it? So it's good that he's playing well. Spyros says he can't take any more Fellaini. I felt sorry for him today. It just wasn't his game to be playing in, but the manager picks him. Mickey was below average, says Korshak, definitely. Mark, the bet came through. Rashford to score at any time, Rizzy. I did say Rashford to score at any time. The bet did come through. So if you put the tenner on, you've won 30 quid. Well done. I've done the dab. I said I'd do a dab if we won. That is the dab. You can't really see it. It's going up like that. I'm happy to do the dab because I said I'd do the dab if we won. I wasn't going to do it before the game because I didn't want it to be the reason we didn't win. Super Cup, here we come, says Zahor. Kill it. Let's kill all that. Shut it down. We've done one step, and I think Celta Vigo at home is the hardest step. Celta Vigo with a 1-0 lead against them at Old Trafford should be straightforward. You do that, you get to a final in Stockholm on a neutral ground. We'll take more fans than they do. Let's do it. We can do it, but there's a long way to go yet. So let's see what happens. Yeah, looking forward to the Arsenal. Looking forward to the Arsenal game on Sunday because I think we should use the squad players. You look at the bench, people like Rooney. He'll fancy that. Keep a lot of the. I think Herrera needs a rest. I'd rest Rashford as well. I'd rest Bailly. Yeah, I'm excited about Sunday because actually we might see a bit of a squad team used. So. Very, 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 very happy. Richard Stein has made a contribution and says, I hope we play the reserves for the Arsenal, which I do as well. Positive result today. And you know what? It would not have been a disservice or an injustice if we'd won that game 3-0. I think we deserve to win it 2-0. I'll take 1-0. Let's take them back to our place. Let's get the job done. Let's get in that final and bring it on. Very, very excited. Ajax United final. We'll take that. We'll definitely take that. Orison's made a contribution and he says, I think it's a shame how some people change their minds so easily depending on the score. You can't be Josie in, Josie out all the time. It's okay to be sceptical, but he deserves a chance. Liked the video. Very, very good comment, Orison, from that. Thanks for the contribution, but a very good comment. I don't understand why people are Jose Mourinho out. I don't. I know some people on the live comments who contribute on the United stand consistently have been Mourinho out all season. I respect your opinion, even though I disagree with it, but we don't want to become Jose in, Jose out. I'm sceptical of some of the things he does. I'm sceptical of the fact that Fellaini's still on the pitch for 90 minutes again today. on a yellow card, an accident waiting to happen. I don't know why he keeps doing it. I don't even blame Fellaini for it. Why would you? He doesn't pick the team. Same about Lingard. I think Mourinho makes mistakes, and any part of your life you are allowed to back somebody but question them, and that's what I do. But I love Mourinho. He's the right man for the job. I wouldn't swap him for anybody else. He's got 100% got my support. I just disagree with some of the things he does. I used to disagree with some of the things Sir Alex Ferguson did, and he was the best sporting manager there's ever been. You can love your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your partner, your dog, whatever. You'll still disagree with them, but you still love them. And I think that is what we should be like about Mourinho. I don't like the flippant in-out thing. Today was a good performance, and it was an entertaining performance, and it was done very, very well. I'm very happy. Thanks everybody for watching. Please do drop a like on the video. The Rashford goal was fantastic. We're on our way to the Europa League final, hopefully. Take it game by game. I'm looking forward to the Arsenal game at the weekend. We're underdogs. Let's play the kids. Let's play some reserves. Let's see what we can do, and let's rest up in comfort, knowing that we've got a job to finish off at Old Trafford. And yeah, very, very happy. I'll be back tomorrow with Transfer Daily at 7 a.m. Lots to talk about. A couple of big things to talk about, actually. But for now, we drink. Have a water if you don't drink, because it's a good result. We'd have snapped the hands off of that. We didn't know what we were going to get with Celta Vigo. Remember, they've been resting their players in the league as well, so they were fresh. They were up for it. They were at home, and we made them look very ordinary. So very, very happy with that. Very happy. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Tomorrow night, 8:30, Arsenal preview. Looking forward to that. Transfer show in the morning. Keep getting involved in the United Stand. You've all been fantastic, whether you've been on the live comments for the after match reaction or on the watch along. Really, really, really good. Exciting time. Pressure time. I was nervous before the game. Pressure, but you know, cup football is lottery in a way, and I'd rather be in it than out of it. And we silenced the bitter rivals today. They thought we were going to get done over. They'll be begging that we get done over in the final if we get there, but we live to fight another day. And up yours to everyone who hates Man United. That's terrible of me to say that. I've been telling people not to say that because it's derogatory. Up yours if you hate Manchester United. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning with the transfer show. And tomorrow night for the preview at 8:30. Come on, United. Cracking result. And Rashford, how good can he be? How good can that boy be?